Hello.
Did I turn my mic on? Okay.
Yeah, it should be. I turned it on before I gave it to you. It's on.
Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is On the Anvil, episode 161. This is the show where we take you behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge. We show you what we're working on, we show you some of the challenges we're facing, and we show you a glimpse of the future. This is the show where we want to hear from you. We want you to hop in the comments, let us know what you're thinking, give us your feedback, give us your ideas, give us your jokes. We want to know what you think. We want to show you all the stuff and get some feedback. This is a show that never has any technical difficulties. Maybe better than last week already. We'll see. And everything always goes exactly as planned. This is the show where mostly we hang. God, I don't have beverages. We hang out and talk terrain for 2 hours and drink frosty beverages.
I got water.
Hey,
I got cold water.
What are we doing tonight, Chris? We're another.
Main focus. So we're looking at cities reforged, but we're mostly gonna focus on the terrain trays this time because we got some things to show you there. We got some new stuff in. And mostly we're just gonna kind of chill and hang out and see what comes up. We're gonna talk about other stuff going on. We got a lot of projects in the air that we've got various updates on, and you all generally can ask us 2 hours of questions about anything. So, it'll be a nice full night. And then about halfway through, about an hour in, we're gonna give away a $50 Dwarven Forge gift card.
Boo! And who's eligible for said gift card?
Anybody that's not on our payroll.
Woo!
Basically.
So, sorry, Rabbit Burner, you're in trouble now.
Yeah.
Hey, you know who's not gonna be here tonight is Finley. He's in a week-long LARP that he's running.
Nice.
Week-long. That's wild, right?
I mean, that sounds. I don't know. I've never gotten to really LARP. I wanted to. We had like a very light LARPing group where it was just mostly like short couple-hour events in my hometown growing up, and I wasn't allowed to participate in it because Satan.
Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
But Satan loves play acting.
Dude,
like
Satan's
elf
all
ears,
about
like-
foam, dude.
Yeah. Really, like it's how he gets you, right?
Yeah.
It starts with a foam sword. Next thing you know, boom.
Yeah.
I don't know what the slippery slope leads to, but it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's definitely got to be showers.
Ooh.
Oh, enough.
Where you going?
What's cool about his thing is they start on Monday, and
Have you had a fan going the whole time?
No.
No.
They start on Monday, and then it's not the full crew. Not everybody can do the full thing, but then Friday there's like a whole resurgence. Like the second half of the team shows up and
The
stays up through
reinforcements
the
come in.
weekend. Yeah, which is pretty
Nice.
wild.
I'd like to LARP at some point, but
It's
man, how do you
amazing.
make time for it these days?
Don't have kids.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm doing all right in that department.
Good.
But
Well, keep that up.
no plans on changing.
It's the greatest. I mean, dropping into a fantasy world for like a full weekend and just fighting the forces of darkness in the middle of the night with your friends. It's like there's nothing cooler.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the best memories of my life are in LARPing. I made some very lifelong friends.
You've mentioned quite a few of them
Yeah.
over the years.
It's yeah. Well, I've logged in a lot of time. It was my formative. I started LARPing at 14, back before they realized that young kids shouldn't be doing it because they could get hurt. And,
Nothing satanic, just bodily harm.
Just you like I saw some guy got like helicopter lifted out because he was getting chased by war trolls in the woods at like midnight and ran into a rock and split his skull open. And, like stuff happens. Like it was a friend got a branch poked and like flipped his eye around and just you're running around the woods like fighting like a lunatic because your life is actually on the line. Like it's a drone's going like things happen. Step on a nail.
Certainly happen.
Yeah. I kicked down a door and it snapped back and smashed me in the face and like cracked my nose.
It like Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't recommend it in real life. Like they like hit a thing. Didn't work
the
out.
stepping on rakes thing seems really fun.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Bonnaroo is LARPing, but with drugs and music. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we? So hop in the comments. We want to know what you think. Be nice. You can win some money. Let's dive in. there anything else we missed? I think it's
I don't think so. We should probably just start talking about, stuff.
It's
Oh yeah, news.
the news. It's the news. Hey, Chris, what's in the news?
Yeah, what's up? Couple things. Starboard shipping, the
Woo!
main wave of it has begun. Some of you, I saw people posting today, have gotten the shipments. I think about 250 should have gone out by now. We're holding on to a couple orders. We're trying to do only complete orders, so you're not getting multiple shipments that you're having to juggle and everything. And it gets more expensive if you send it in multiple shipments.
Especially
Um,
international. We're right
Yeah.
up.
The things we were waiting on was the new bunker blue paint, as well as a couple straggler sets that got accidentally left out of the container that we were airlifting over. Found out today the straggler sets apparently still haven't made it through customs.
Yeah.
So
they're supposed to arrive today, but they're still in customs.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
once they're through customs, they should get here very fast. So hopefully those will be ready to go out next week. But
So-
it depends on what customs does.
Who got their stuff? Did anybody watching get their stuff?
A couple people. Let me see. Man, there was a list of the sets. Let me see if I can find it. It was only like 5. It was only like 5 sets.
That's all it takes to mess up an order.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the bunker blue. I'm
and I think
enthused
I
today.
believe the paint made it though.
Woo! Got your Star Forge.
Because there was also other just general paint restocks that were coming.
Oh.
And I believe that stuff went into the store today, so we should have the blue paint.
So it's just waiting on those last couple sets to clear
Just waiting
customs.
for those guys to get through customs, which you never know. You know, like all the outpost alphas, which have literally everything, made it through customs fine. Yeah, so it's only 2 sets. I believe it's the pipes cache and the alpha the advanced core set.
Oh, the pipes
Seemed like the
cache
two.
is a mess because it's in a lot of
Yeah.
lots of people have that in their order because it was a treasure
So
chest.
what we're planning to do if we run out of complete pledges to ship out before those get here, we will do domestic
partials.
partial shipments. In which case, you might get your order, but then you'll just get the pipes cache or the advanced core like a week later or something.
And there's a distinct possibility it could show up tomorrow, right? It could
Yeah.
clear customs. It could already have cleared customs, but it just didn't get the notice yet. And
Yeah, sometimes with shipping they do not update the progress very quickly. So yeah, like I said, like it could actually be through customs and they just haven't told us yet. So who knows? It's not far away. It's just it's close. It just needs to
so close.
be let go by customs.
People who got their stuff, are you
Yeah.
enjoying your pieces? Has anybody built anything yet? How you feeling about it? Dragus is saying the photos look more stark gray and grimy metallic blue sheen. Stuff's definitely blue. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, I think when people are posting photos of their stuff, a huge thing is just going to be what camera do they use, what is their lighting. Color temperature is just going to vary wildly based on where people are taking the photos and what they're taking the photos with. But the stuff is pretty blue. Like
Yeah.
we've got it in hand.
And it looks great. It looks as intended. It's like you should be happy. I mean, it's similar with Sinister, right? That stuff photos very differently depending on a variety of things. And like we hear it every time we show it at a convention, we go, "Oh wow, this stuff looks so cool." It's like it didn't quite look like that on camera. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the tough thing with. That's probably the hardest part of photographing these things. That's a whole like Aaron spends a lot of time just color correcting
Yeah.
photo pieces to try and make sure that they match what it looks like in hand as closely as possible.
It's
But
really
even
hard.
then, depending on what people's settings are on their screens at home, that also changes the way the colors look. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
Who was saying looks at bluer under yellow light versus daylight? Gizmo. You're right. Right, the daylight's bluer, so then it de-blues the blue. And, yeah. But the stuff looks awesome. Has anybody gotten it? Excited? Yes, they are thick. The pieces are. They have.
Gothire is saying they've got it, but they haven't unpacked yet. They're waiting
Good.
for other housemates to open it together.
The reason the pieces feel thick
Deepesh got theirs.
is the floors are 1/2 inch thick versus 3/8. So that extra 1/8 inch gives it oomph. Plus the hull curve gives it a little more bulk. That half-inch, that was the best decision we ever made, was working everything is on true half-inch measurements. So like no matter how you turn the stuff, things line up like crazy. And you see it with like the pictures that like Mad Roboticist is doing and stuff, like it's
That was
lining up stuff in magical ways.
that was one of the things that was really nice about getting to go into just an entirely different biome and even like a different genre was we did not have to make it the same thickness as the other floors that we've done because it's an entirely standalone thing. So,
And the theory was, if you wanted to build a spaceship in line with, say, new grass floors from Cities Reforged, the fact that we have that little 1/8 inch step up should look fine. Like you're transitioning, it's a completely different. Like there's nothing continuous about the environment.
yeah,
So
you were not expecting a natural transition from
Yeah.
grass into sci-fi
Exactly.
bunker. Like it is going to be like a clear man-made step up.
Oh, it will be mixed. And that
Oh,
was
it totally does mix, but just we
Yeah.
did not have to go like, well, it really has to be the same thickness as dungeons. For
we were
example.
gonna get better building results if we did everything in half inches.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was its own complete biome. So let's make new rules. Like that was part of the fun of Starforge, was we could make new rules for how we built it and start sort of from the ground up rather than be chained to the tyranny of the past decisions of dungeons or something. So like we have, it was a chance to have sort of a clean slate to create a biome from the ground up. And I'm really happy with the results. Like I don't know if anybody's built with it, but it's just like it's just really fun to build with.
I need to show you the Arthur of Gaming has started running an expedition to Barrier
Cool.
Peaks already. Let me see if I can find the photos, and then I'll throw them up on stream again real quick.
Patrick, I would love
yeah.
that. Stargazing Kiwi wants to see behind the scenes. How do you get smoky sweeping shots? Either a jib or a rails,
Yeah.
and then fog machine. We've been using. Sil found a aquarium, the aquarium humidifiers that create the same water vapor that we've been using really well. Hey, we got a new perception.
Here we go.
Into adventures, pipes running through caverns definitely seems like a thing. Yes, it's definitely a thing. Look at that, it looks really cool.
Yeah, so this
I like
is
those highlights, the little yellow.
yeah.
yellow
So
highlights.
here's the thing. He got the Outpost Alpha, and then he painted the entire thing within a week. So
That guy's
he
a
could
maniac. It
Yeah.
looks like the bunker blue. It looks like the same kind of base coat color.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the details in the doors.
Yeah, so it's because in Barrier Peaks there are color coded doors.
Right.
He has a close up on it somewhere. Yeah, so yeah, he just based on what the
So
color of the
good.
door is supposed to be, he just did different highlights on
Yep.
each of the doors.
But what's
which is-
fun too
yeah.
is this is the kind of thing you can do. If you got painted, you can easily go in and pop some details. Like you could do some of your doors, you could do those engravings or whatever.
Mhm. Yeah, the
someone said
yellow
you should do
highlights are really nice.
catacombs. Yeah, it's on the short list, for sure.
You can get a really good look at the greebling he did here.
This is he did his own custom paint, but it looks like the base is pretty close to the bunker.
Yeah, I think he just did custom. You can even see it's got the lava red,
Yeah,
kind of rust underneath.
Yeah.
He just did custom greebling and everything to make it more in line with the genre of sci-fi he wanted.
So good. I mean, that's the fun, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's so neat, getting these pieces out there, seeing what happens, especially such an open-ended set, like seeing what people do with it is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So not a ton of builds yet because people are still just getting their stuff, but we've seen some really cool things happen already. Yeah. Let's see what's going on here.
Port and starboard colors on my pieces. Amazing.
Pipes running through caverns definitely seems like a thing. Yeah, we did some. If you look at the GameFound page, we posted some photos of that of a compatibility build there. You can really throw the pipes into almost any biome.
We did them in sewers. We did them in caverns.
Did them in the wilderness.
Did them in
swamp.
That big Mustafar build you did had pipes all over lava.
The hellscape. The hellscape Mustafar build.
Pipes in Underdoom. Pipes just pipes everywhere. Like you can pipe all day. Like it just yeah. If you're gonna get one thing in Starforge, get the pipes.
Mm-hmm. Well, because they're the most they cross over with fantasy stuff the best. If you have any artificer stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, starport shipping. That's generally that.
Oh, and if you get your stuff, post some pictures. Like we want to see. We want to see what you guys do with this stuff.
Also,
The
if
coin.
you backed your lay, saw somebody talking about the coin earlier.
Neat, right?
Really happy with the way it came out.
Doesn't it feel like the planets move too when you move back and
Mm-hmm.
forth? It's like, yeah.
It's very cool. It doesn't show very well on the thing, but it's really cool. Oh yeah, and don't forget if you have the coin, the back side of it was designed to be able to fit into the doors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can
fits
slide
in.
the coin down into the door to be like an alternate metal blast door if you want it.
The promotion of the pipe.
Yeah.
It's miniature terrain stream. Hey.
Let's see.
No party like a space party.
What other things do we have?
Ooh, I'm planning using sci-fi with Star Wars Legion. New sets being released this year look great.
100%. We
What are
used
the
it.
new Star Wars Legion sets they're doing?
Oh, I don't know. I missed the.
Yeah.
They're constantly
Kicking stuff out.
yeah.
They are, the coin edges are super fidgety, right? That
Mm-hmm.
textural. Hard to imagine there's a lot of fidgeters here, but we're,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun to it's fun
Very,
to
it's very satisfying.
Lowtown for steampunk. Yeah, the pipes mixed with Lowtown are very good for doing like Fallout
Totally.
stuff if you're playing the Fallout skirmish game at all.
Some Victorian steampunky thing, right? Like old buildings with the pipes running up the sides.
And then other big thing, don't forget that Cities Reforged launches oh god, let me copy the link.
July 22nd.
July 22nd.
Conceptually.
If kind of conceptual.
Well, we'll talk about the tariffs a little bit. Which
Yeah, we'll see if
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
we'll-
we're doing. In case you didn't hear, we're doing our next campaign is Cities Reforged. We're reconfiguring all of our Tudor pieces. We have some Tudor expansion pieces, so we give them some new building options there, and we'll gather up all the other city stuff that we didn't get into into Lowtown. So it's the Tudor roofs, the slate roofs, all the Tudor stuff, bunch of the city dressing that we'd missed out on. And then we're adding grass banks and grass floors, as well as a bunch of garden scatter. So there's going to be, I don't know, we cut it in half. It was going to be twice as big, but we're a little worried about the current tariff situation, so we cut it in half. But there's still going to be like something like 20 new pieces, plus all the old sets reconfig, plus 5 new terrain trays. There's going to be some neat stuff. We'll show a bunch of it tonight. So something to look forward to, July 22nd. Hey, where can people find out more about it? Where should they go to know what's happening? Oh, look at that.
Discord
Oh, or the Game Found that you
or
just
the Game Found
posted.
page
Yeah.
that's
That
in
you-
chat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's throw in the segue you already got there.
Yes, I already put it up.
Boom.
And we're gonna be revealing the follower gift very soon. There will be an early follower gift like we've been doing.
Oh man,
we just have been struggling with locking that in. How far out will that push Perilous if cities get split? It pushed it back a little bit. Not a
hard
ton.
to know what honestly right now the way things are going, it's hard to know what any future timelines are.
Yeah, the main thing is, I mean, even this morning, the global trade situation changed again. So, it is hard to make. It is hard to make a deadline that we can be super confident we can stick to.
There's a lot of factors beyond our control on the outside that may affect us, but we'll see. We're planning to do a second part, very late winter, and then Perilous. I don't know, tail end of summer, beginning of autumn or something next year. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Like everything could be a little in flux. What we are doing is here's what we're doing. We're still cooking ahead, full steam ahead here, developing the rest of the sort of second half of Cities, developing Perilous. Like we've been cooking, like stuff is being sculpted as you speak. Like we're still plunging ahead. I don't know exactly when it's all going to actually get launched, but we're kind of in a place where we're maybe even getting a little ahead of where we are in terms of launch. So we'll have kind of stuff banked, ready to go. So, hopefully we can get projects out quickly depending on the climate. But we're still cooking full steam. The follower gift thing was, so we had a really neat idea. We were trying to do something in a different medium, like test a thing that we've been working on. We had a really neat idea for a thing that was gonna be really cool. And we got, we'd done some tests over here. It seemed like really promising, like a thing that was gonna work. and we got a quote from the factory at $70. $70 for the free gift. That doesn't work. So we're back to the drawing board. But we have something else cooking up neat. So hopefully we'll get that up soon, assuming we get a quote that's not $70, which is a lot.
Yeah.
For free
So
gift.
we're exploring some alternates. No, we're not going to tell you what it was because
We're gonna make it at some point in some other. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
yeah, it's not a dead idea. It's just okay, this can't be the follower gift this time idea.
It was
So
yeah, it was kind of like a cattails situation where we had it was a little thing that we're like, oh, this is great, and it was like turned out to be way more expensive than the thing that size and complexity should be, and yeah, for a variety of reasons. But
what's the go with Hightown? Is that still on the radar? So Hightown, as we initially talked about it, basically isn't happening, but that's because we're changing the way we do campaigns to be in smaller, more regular intervals. And so
Lowtown was too big.
yeah. So some of the stuff that was going to be in Hightown is in Cities Reforged. These grass banks, the grasslands was like a Hightown plan.
Pond,
That
the gardens,
pond
the,
was a Hightown plan. So basically, we want to still
streets
get
for
all that
part
stuff
two.
out. Yeah, we want to still get all that stuff out, but expect it to be not in a massive 200-piece campaign, but in smaller, more themed campaigns over time.
But
Yeah.
drip the stuff out, because once again we have a bunch of stuff in the vault. Like we're still cooking away.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
How does the follower gift work? If you are following the campaign before we launch,
it's a good question.
you get the follower gift for free, and that includes like if you follow now, even though we haven't added the follower gift yet. Once we add the follower gift, everybody who's already following will get that gift. As long as you have to pledge, like you have to have a pledge. If you follow but then don't actually back the campaign, you won't get anything.
You also have to get a physical thing. Like you can't
Yes.
just back it for $1. You have to actually buy something in the campaign. Like we have to be shipping you something else, and then we'll give you the follower gift also.
Do you still plan to have Hightown in the future? We don't know if we will have a campaign that is called Hightown, but we still want to do all the things that were in Hightown. They just may be in more specifically named campaigns, basically.
Essentially, a Hightown was like a full, similar to Lowtown, right? It was a full city onslaught. Everything you needed from from the train trays to the ground to the buildings to the dressing to the minis to the like a whole, another whole 200 piece thing, whatever, too big. Especially considering the way the manufacturing climate, the tariffs, everything. It's just But we have a bunch of that stuff. Like we're gonna keep pushing all this stuff out, and it may, it like many of our things, it may not go in a straight line, and it may take longer than you like and whatnot. But we're gonna keep trying to push all this stuff out that we're making because we got some neat stuff. But man, it's we got a lot of football.
Might be a question, but on the Game Found page, it looks like the Dread Hollow trees have a lighter paint scheme. Is that lighting or a new paint job? That's actually a different tree. That was actually pushed back to the second part of Cities Reforged. However, the cool promotional photo shoot that we had done was before we decided to split it, and so we need time to take new promotional photos that don't have the trees in it.
I think that's the only thing that was in there that wasn't. The tree and the base are not in. We pushed those to part 2.
But basically, so we decided to keep, because the stump lumps basically that those modular trees are planned for are more in line with the street system than they are with the grass and stuff. So those trees are going to be with the streets revamp in the second part of Cities Reforged. So that you can do like tree-lined streets and all that. Any rec to update existing streets to be magnetized for those who are impatient or want their current streets to match? Yes, there is somebody made a magnetization guide, I believe.
On Discord?
On the Discord. I think there are a lot of people on the Discord who have done it already. So if nothing else, they can tell you how they did it, which magnets to get, where to place them, all that. Is that so you have at least something green and Reforged too? It was mostly, but also
it was just they fit better with the theme of the second one, and they were big and expensive, and we hadn't figured out one thing, and it made a better cut for like what we could, based on the packs we had. It was better to cut the project the way we did.
Yes. Most of the beans we've already seen for Hightown making it into other campaigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stuff sneaking in.
Nothing we were doing in Hightown has been like killed. It's just us figuring out when is the time to do this, and some of them needed to be reworked a bit, or we still needed time to figure out exactly how they work. All that jazz.
Well, and the other thing that we're juggling is trying to do reforges for all of our product lines, because one of the big goals for the reforge is to fix our sets to be better for the web store, because previous to when did we even start Lowtown? Previous to Lowtown, we were just kind of we tended to make sets that were just good for Kickstarters or for crowdfunding campaigns, versus stuff that was good for evergreen for the web store. So we really desperately kind of need to go back and clean up a bunch of our other sets and get stuff better for the web store, so we can offer a better web store experience. So starting with the Wildlands Reforge, it's been we've been chunking through the product lines. So that's also helping to push back some of the other newer stuff, is trying to clean up we've got like 10 years of homework to do.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And we also didn't want like 5 years straight of our new production to be all city sets, because then we're not making anything for our customers that aren't interested in getting city stuff. So if we keep like a cycle, if our production cycle kind of moves between wilderness and city and dungeons and more variety, we're able to kind of keep having stuff going for our entire customer base.
Hit different notes for people who are excited for different things.
Yeah.
Also, so we don't lose our minds just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yes, there's also that. Really looking forward to that Hightown group of pieces that will turn field sun walls into garden walls. Yeah, the courtyard wall system is very cool. Yeah. But yeah. Speaking of getting our...
Ooh, nice segue here.
Speaking of getting our past catalog into store-friendly sets, the restock that we have coming in July has recently had all of the new castle sets added to it. The castle line in particular was really suffering from all of the sets being very expensive and very hard to restock.
And often not restocked at all. Right?
Not restocked at all.
That's just been,
because so many of them were relying on like, well, just make this $500 purchase, which is hard for people to do. And when we need to order like 700 of those to do a restock, that's going to take 5 years to sell through. It's not financially feasible for us. So basically, these new castle sets, it's 6 new sets altogether, and there's no new pieces, but 4 of them are transition sets that will help you. We've gotten things like the watchtowers. We've got a gate in stock. The wall sets were pretty easy to keep in stock, but the ability to combine towers and walls to be able to have these really cool large fortified things. Initially, we had just packaged those as complete sets, like the corner wall set, the corner tower set, but those were all, like we said, like $700 sets. That it turns
hard
out
for us to restock.
Yes. So what we've done is we've got 4 sets that I believe are all under $100 each. That will let you. They should let you combine any watchtower with the walls. There is the inline transition set. I think it's $44 painted. It'll let you take your small watchtower and make it an inline tower with some walls. We have 2 packs, the tower transition pack and the cutout corners pack, that when you combine them with walls and either the small or the large watchtower, it lets you do the cool corner watchtower system.
So you can make a castle.
Yeah. And then we have a castle stairs pack because there's this cool stair configuration that are in a number of those big construct a castle sets that we had, that lets you have a run up to the castle walls from behind it. And this just breaks out those elevation blocks and stairs in a way that'll let you make that way up onto the castle walls, as well as make a couple other configurations of
those stairs
cool
are
castle
crucial in castle builds. Like, you need ways to get up and down and play with that elevation. Encourage your players to go up and
and then there's 2 dressing sets that are the Sorcerer's Sanctum dressing, all the runic themed stuff.
it's exciting.
Which
get all that stuff back. gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how the prices came out. The only thing that is rough is the price of the LEDs, but that's just the reality of the LED sets with
That's the
pricing.
life.
Yeah,
Hey,
we severely underpriced them in the campaigns, and yeah,
that's a good question. Are there gonna be guide on how to use these sets? Maybe we should do that.
we probably should.
Yeah.
Castles is
You know,
severely lacking in
we
instructional
we
materials.
have good build guides. For all the constructed castle stuff has really detailed build guides.
Mm-hmm.
So you could actually just we can even just link to those. Like you can just see how the transitions work in those build guides. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
very they're very clear. Um, it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Glamour Moth was asking, just totally unrelated, before I forget about, are we ever going to do more 24 by 24 texture mats? We did, what,
We did
three
some.
more
We did some.
dungeons?
We did some in dungeons. Yeah,
Acid lava dungeon water? Or we just do acid and lava? I can't remember. I think we did three. Or was it swirling? Did we have
I
the.
can't remember. I know we definitely did the acid and lava. I can't remember
I,
if we did a plain
did we do
water.
what was it? Like it was ethereal energies? Is that
That
what
like
they're called?
magic blue thing. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know we. I know we
One
did
too.
at least
Yeah, so
two.
we did three.
Ethereal Sea. Yeah.
So the question is, so Glamour Moth, I don't disagree with you that they are the texture mats are really neat. They're very affordable. They have a really cool texture, and I think they're awesome. The question would be, what else would people want to see, right? Like, what do you want to see? So currently, so let me caveat it. Currently, the way those texture mats work is they're mostly only ideal for a watery texture because they
Yeah.
have, the baked in texture and the speculators and whatnot. So like they wouldn't be feasible because of the sheen and the texture, they wouldn't be feasible to do like grass or something on
Yeah.
there with that current
Yeah,
layout.
if we did that production process for solid ground, you would hate it.
Yeah.
Uh,
But that's 3x3. What
yeah.
would you see? What other designs would you want to see in that? So currently we have Mountain Lake, we have Dismal Quagmire, we have Soggy Bog, and then we have lava, acid, and ethereal energies. So like, what else would you see? Wild Space Mat for Space Jammer. Space,
Mm,
interesting. Shiny,
I'm
glossy
curious.
space.
I'm
River
curious how it would
Styx
come
would be
through.
interesting. That's
Oh.
bright white. That's a cool. Do you know for the River Styx art? I don't know how well you can see it on there. Janet walked around the office with a wet white T-shirt and pressed people's
Yeah.
faces into it, doing different screams, and took photos of that. And so there's all these like screaming faces that are in the white that are just different folks in the office with their face like pressed into a wet white T-shirt. Uh, yeah, you'd never know, but they're in there. I mean, you can see the faces, but you wouldn't know that was it's pretty neat. A blood mat. That's interesting. River.
It
How
makes,
would you use a 24 by 24 river, or are you thinking like a 12 by 24 for river? That's an interesting one. Bubbling mud pools.
you know what could be interesting? Somebody brought up the idea of like a wet cavern floor. If we did kind of shallow, like you can see the like a shallow pool or shallow
Festering floor.
water where you can see like the
Rocks underneath and
see the rocks underneath, but there's a water over the top. But it's like, oh, that's like 6 inches or a foot deep tops. So
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
can step on it, you can walk on
yeah.
it, but this is not
Like
terrible.
tidal flats, like that
Yeah.
low, like that's a cool, and it would be a really neat visual. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a neat one. Necrotic sludge. So basically, a lot of the existing, any of the weird existing liquids. Um,
It's possible to do different texture prints. Not with that.
we could find
Not
some
with that
other. The
process.
problem is this: it's all glossy. So
Yeah.
like whatever, we don't have a good alternative.
You know,
That's
Letitia,
not glossy yet.
Letitia, that's a good word for it. Shoal.
A shoal.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Letitia's the best. One of the reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Letitia is such a backbone of just
of everything.
the company for the last 5 or so years,
Yeah.
however long she's been here. Will the purplish dismal quagmire be restocked? I think it was the one that sold the least.
I don't know.
So have
I
we just
can't
been
keep
kind of?
track it.
There's no reason not to restock all of them. I don't
Yeah,
think.
they're a neat. They're a neat thing. I haven't seen anybody else do anything like it yet.
Yeah.
I say yet because people are always coming. They're always following the footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to see a gelatinous cube. Amazing.
Let's see.
All right, what's in the news? So we got the restocks. We got
We did the
the.
restock. We did cities reports. We did Starford shipping.
This has been the most rambly news section ever. It's awesome.
Oh, that's
I love
fine.
it.
That's what people are
Yeah.
here for. Um, that's all that I had written down for
Gen Con?
news.
Did we say?
Oh yeah, Gen Con. We're gonna be at Gen Con.
Hey,
We're always at Gen Con, but we're gonna be at Gen Con.
1301.
It's or July 30th through August 3rd this year.
Yeah, it's early.
No, July 31st through August 3rd. Yeah, I think it's just because it's always like the first weekend in August, but the first weekend in August just happens to start on
Yeah.
the first. Oh, Dungeons Reforged news. Is there anything to say about Dungeons Reforged? Oh, actually, yes, there is. We sent out an email today. We've been leaving the treasure chest selections open a bit because we've had some stragglers, like a pretty large amount of people just never put their treasure chest selections in, and so we were hoping we'd get more people to fill it out. So we sent out an email. If you got an email from us today, we really need to finalize that order so it doesn't hold up production at all. So next Monday, we're going to send the order off. So check if you got an email from us and you back Dungeons Reforged. Please go do your treasure chest selections. If it's confusing you and you don't know how to do it, comment and I can do it manually. Customer support can do it manually.
Free stuff. Treasure chests.
Yeah, if you don't fill it in, we're not going to not give you treasure chests. We will just randomly select it. Like we'll try to go based on they're getting unpainted, so we'll give them unpainted chests or whatever.
Or they're getting all sinister, so we'll give them all sinister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get an email, then you're good. If you did get, well, unless like your email sent it to spam or something. But yeah, if you got an email from us, please. It might also be some people selected it and then just never submitted it afterwards. You got to submit it for it to actually get saved.
Copy.
So yeah, just check and make sure that's ready because we need to get that stuff moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have any test shots to show you yet. Those should be coming soon for Dungeons Reforged. They've been casting like crazy all the old stuff, the original bits, but we don't have any of the new pieces to show yet.
Yeah, we put out this last update. We talked about kind of where things are at timeline wise. We're saying November. We're hoping as we get closer to things, it'll be easier to get like an exact prediction on it. But like the supply chain made it so that we weren't able to get resin for our printers, and we needed to like make match prints, and we just couldn't do that for a while. There's been a lot of
turns out our resin's made in China.
Yeah, there's a lot of ripple effects to the tariffs that aren't just the tariff. Like it affects shipping containers, like this what am I saying? The restock.
We held the restock for 6 weeks or something. It was or longer. I don't know. It was
Yeah. You can't attach watchtowers and small towers to corner walls unless you have extra quarter circumference tower walls. In base packs, if you use the door wall, you can attach them. Yeah, that was what I was going for. Was you should have quarter walls. If you got like a regular watchtower set, you should have some quarters in there because of the door. Yeah. Yes, you should have quarters. God, the watchtower set gives you like LED walls and stuff too.
The large one?
Doesn't include 3/4 floor?
You did. You tested these builds. You're like,
yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we should have that floor. Okay. We should have that floor as individual pieces at least. So maybe we'll need to push that. I thought it did because the small.
I thought you built all these out.
It did. I thought. Okay, maybe I used the wrong.
Pac-Man.
Why doesn't the regular watchtower have?
Because it doesn't need any Pac-Man floors.
To do the stairs up.
Okay. Yeah, you just knock out one of the extenders.
Okay. Well, we were trying not to have unnecessary things in there. Okay, so we'll update it to just say because you need to get additional sets anyway. So if we put the
Why don't we bundle it? If we've got them in the individual piece bazaar, we can bundle it
yeah,
into the thing, add
that's
it to
the
the image, and
that's the thing
add
with
it when we ship
castles
it.
is there's so many of these little one-off pieces. So yeah, if we put the yeah, we're gonna have it in individual pieces, so we'll bundle it in from there because we've got a lot of those coming in. So we'll do that. But it's tough because then if you don't need them, if you're doing small watchtower, you don't. All right. Okay, we will.
Small watchtower needs a Pac-Man too, no? Or does it have a
It
Pac-Man?
it comes with them.
Oh, right, because for the floors.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it comes with them.
Yeah, but it's better to have the extra floor, um, if you're just doing small.
Yeah, it's just tough to try and account for all the. But it's good because we'll have them in there. So if we.
But it's booty.
Yeah. Okay. We can address that. It's booty. Wait, what's going on?
I don't know. My kid said it's booty.
Did they reach a trade deal just now?
Uh,
I'll look at it when we talk.
well, why don't we? Should we talk about the tariff for a sec?
Yeah.
So we had a meeting yesterday. We were trying to make plans for launching. Right, we're supposed to launch Cities Reforged July 22nd, and obviously these tariffs affect us in a big way. So we had a plan, which was we're going to increase our prices 10% in the campaign, and then absorb the other 20% essentially. So kind of meet you guys in the middle. So it wasn't going to be too sky high, and that seemed like we could make it work. Tyler ran the numbers, like looked like a great thing. And then today you're talking 55. So I don't know what that's gonna do just yet. Either yeah, I don't know. We have to figure it out. It's throwing us for a little tizzy. So it may end up delaying our launch. I don't know. I don't know when we're gonna launch if we don't launch in July. It's a whole mess. But we kind of have to sort it out. So actually, that leads to a question: is like, would you rather, because this situation is so volatile, right? And we take the order and then we ship 10 months later or 11 months later or whatever. Is it better to, would you rather have a higher price up front with kind of a guarantee that, like, okay, assuming nothing goes above whatever threshold we've set, like everything's covered? Or would you rather pay less up front and then pay a variable tariff rate depending on how things change in 6 months with your shipping? Maybe it should be a poll. I don't know.
Okay, this isn't anything new from this morning, so it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Still
pay you rent
not.
next Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Still not. Yes, it's still not. It's still just like a tweet, basically. It's not. It's not anything different from what we saw this morning.
So wilderness, the higher price up front, later set is better than varied, higher up front, variable. It's amazing. It's like a 50-50 split. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
It
well,
turns out.
that's the problem, is right. There's no easy right answer on any of this, right? It's commitment to ship anything non-U.S. direct. Not always possible, as Ed, like shipping non-U.S. direct. Depends on the volume, and it's because we have. It's like Jay has negotiated some really good international shipping rates, and that's why we keep changing shipping wherever he keeps like negotiating these better rates. So it's actually cheaper for us to ship by sea to the States and then airship via internationally from the States than it is to go direct from China. Like it's actually cheaper for you if we do it that way based on the current rates that we have. So that would be like might end up costing you more to if it was shipped direct. The tariff's going down over time and up. Yeah. Variable rate 10%. We vote on just not being in a trade war. Please. Yeah,
Yeah,
Masticon, can you go sort that out for us? That would be awesome. Let us know when you got that. Yeah. No front variable, I think.
It's tough. It's just it's everybody. There's definitely not like an overwhelming consensus here. which is
Yeah. Well,
which
that's
is the
also part
issue.
of the problem, right? It's all there's all this variability. There's all this. It's just it's a terrible environment to try and launch crowdfunding in.
Upfront is best for business. It's best for us unless it goes up majorly.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, also if it's
but
going to be 55, that means like I don't know, it's got to go up at least 20% or something, which is tough, right? So
yeah.
then like the $500 set's going up to $600, and like I don't know.
Could you overprice and then over deliver if prices drop? Like we send people more free stuff or
Over
something?
deliver. I don't know, but because we have to put the order in. It's so I don't. It's really hard to know because once again, it's so volatile. Um, yeah, and if it goes up, you risk cancellations totally.
Upfront is best for customer feels right. So the issue with upfront is if we collect tariffs then and then they majorly go up after and it's like, oh, we really need to collect
Yeah.
more because this is prohibitive.
Yeah.
Um, I think
Reimbursement gift cards
that
or some
feels worse
shit.
than if we just. It's just there's no I don't know. I don't see any option that doesn't feel bad in some way.
Jeffrey says just have a LARP battle to sort it out. All the upfront people on one side and the flexible rate people on the other side. Love that. The Squid Games. Just when we threw in some gift cards.
Higher upfront, add gift card or store credit if not needed.
Interesting. Yeah, I want Masticon on my side.
I wonder how much of that probably is.
There might be something there.
If we say that we'll do that, that's probably much easier to do on our end than
Yes.
than refunding everybody.
Yeah, no, refunding
goes
everybody's a
down?
disaster. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, here's the thing: all of it's a bit of a disaster. Like, what do we, we're trying to make a plan for a year from now. When things get thrown all topsy turvy, it really messes. Like we could, depending on what happens with Dungeon Reforged, like we're gonna eat a lot. Like we already Starforged, we already took a 30% hit on Starforged.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to raise all the prices of those things the second they hit the web store, or before they hit the web store.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
if it stays at 55, that's a big hit on Dungeons Reforged. And if it goes above that, that's even
I know we're really
worse.
Really,
I don't know. I'm really hoping.
I just hope it settles before we have to ship the damn thing.
Yeah, I can't imagine things staying at that rate for the next several months. But
2025.
it turns out
disasters.
It turns out that just any uncertainty like this is just it's just the not knowing. The not knowing is the worst part of any of it because we just cannot plan in a way that we can rely on. And that sucks when what you do is a long process.
Especially when it's high stakes. Like we're like Dungeon Reforged is a big campaign. Like we're on the hook for a bunch of stuff like that. That goes like 55 is already really bad. It goes even higher. It's like disaster. It's all beyond our control too. So, I mean, I hate to say, but hopefully this isn't hopefully this isn't a giant campaign because it's a little scary. Like if this was if this was a $2 million campaign, that's even scarier because we know we're going into stormy waters. Like with Dungeon Reforged, we didn't. Like this is yeah.
And we want this to be around the size of Dungeons Reforged ideally, which is if we're dealing with $2 million worth of product, any significant tariff is a massive tariff for us to deal with. Yeah. And it's just
But we can bake some in from I don't know. But we'll keep you posted as we continue to debate it out. But that's part of the problem is there's no great answer, there's no great solution because nothing is certain, and it's hard to put logic on a lot of this stuff because it's not driven by logic. Oh. But we will see.
Yeah.
I think we beat up the tariffs. Was there anything else on the? Did we talk about the moon? What are they? Lunis d'argent. Lunis d'argent.
Yeah, no, we didn't actually. There was last bit of news. Hey, if you know Lunis d'Argent, it's French. I should
Yeah.
know. I should know how to pronounce
It's
it
like the
better.
silver moon, right?
Is Argent silver or gold? Yeah, it is silver.
Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
By a large wooden
Hey,
badger.
they also do modular terrain, but they do kind of more specific biomes. They did like Egyptian sandstone dungeons, that sort of thing. Uh, they're doing another campaign that launches on Tuesday. It's the first one in a long time, and it is dwarven themed dungeons, which
Oh.
is
Any dwarf
pretty
fans
cool.
out there?
Yeah, the kind of thing that is not super feasible for us to do. Uh, but their stuff is all in the same scale and is compatible with our stuff. It's kind of like Galadoria. They are another small company that makes stuff that is compatible with ours. Um,
And they're hand
and
casting small batches.
yeah,
Like it's in a plaster, I think, or at least the last when they did it 6 or 8 years ago. It was like a dental plaster or something.
um, very cool, very cool small business. Also making terrain. If this looks like something that you could use for your games, go check that out. They're launching on Tuesday, and they've got if you follow it early, there's a discount as a follower gift on
Woohoo!
it, so you'll get some taken off your pledge. Yeah,
Hey, Glamour Moss, to answer your question about can we split the tariffs between the U.S. and the rest of the world, what we were sort of covering before is that it's the most cost-effective way to ship is actually to send everything to our warehouse and then ship from there for international shipping. It would cost more, like the shipping direct from the warehouse would end up costing more. So it's not really not a good. It doesn't work as a solution on our end, unfortunately.
mm-hmm. There truly is just no good way around it.
Yeah. There
I
may be some
wish,
crazy Canadian workaround where we'd ship to a warehouse in Canada. We'd have to get a
yeah,
distribution hub in Canada and never bring and then go from Canada there if we work our same rates or something. I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean the good news is we have how many we have 9 months or 10 months or 11 months to figure it out.
yeah. It's this whole thing. It just messes with the entire
Yes.
pipeline. It's just rough. Um, should we do a word? Should we do the giveaway word here?
Should move
Kind
to
of sounds like
Canada.
we're.
Yeah, let's give away what's
I don't know. What's a good
Letitia,
word?
what's a word? We need a
Is
clever word.
Is there anything good here?
Is it argent? To secret silver.
Argent,
Shoals.
shoals, argent. Letitia says argent.
All
Argent.
right.
All right. You want a chance to win a $50 Dwarven Forge gift card? Go ahead and type argent in chat or argent.
Say it with the accent though. You gotta
Argent.
type it with an accent. Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and get that in there. Oh, there they go. They're really building up. Sorry if you had a question that we needed to.
Well, you know what? It's nice to have a little clean sweep, a clean sweep, so we can start fresh. Sarge. The
Yeah.
best. Did we have that was all the news items we had, right?
I think so.
Yeah, an hour worth of news items.
We're out of
That's awesome.
news. We're out of news, and I'm just sad.
It is very, as a small creator, it's very upsetting because it's a lot of work to do all this stuff. And we lay these grand plans and it's hard. Working in a world without certainty is really tough. Like it's very frustrating. And it's very frustrating. We had a big meeting yesterday. We had a good plan and then it all just got blown up within 24 hours. And it is demoralizing when you just don't know. All this stuff that's beyond your control that is, it's existentially threatening to the company. Like
if this continues long term, we're doing everything we can to adapt to it, but I would rather we weren't having to.
Yeah.
I would rather we could rely on pipelines and supply chains working the way that we've been used to them working for a long time.
Yes.
It was hard enough back when those were reliable. The other tough thing too is, most customers we deal with are not going to fully understand how this stuff affects things. They'll just think that it's, it's already like, do people understand how tariffs work in the first place? But then it's also just thinking that all it is just, oh, all you have to do is like pay a little more. It's like,
Yes.
well, no, like this has ripple effects. Shipping is less reliable now. Uh, Supplies are harder to get. Like it has ripple effects on everything.
Well,
Is
it
is
affects
our factory's
it
workforce
affects
going to
our
be?
factory,
Yeah,
right? Like if we stop feeding them business, then they're gonna close, and then we don't. If we get back in business, we don't have a thing. Like there's so much. It's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, let's
yeah,
look
yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
let's look at some stuff for the future.
Yes.
The one thing we can control is making neat stuff, or at least we can
Yeah,
make prototypes of neat stuff.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know if we can manufacture said prototypes, but we can make. All right, so we have some terrain trays cooking
Mm-hmm.
for Cities Reforged, and I'm pretty excited. We currently have 5 new terrain trays, so that's 10 new designs. We have a new artist we've been working with, who Lucy's been kicking out some really cool designs. Aaron has been driving the art direction on it, so we have a really nice cohesive palette that's going to work with the palette of the all the Tudor stuff and all the greenery, and it's exciting. So here's a little. I was building that fun because it's fun. Here's a little sample of we got. These are three of the road terrain trays. They're double sided, and then the pond. And this is the original. This is a forest terrain tray from Wildlands or whatever. So the idea is that these work with this. If you need a blank one, you can use your forest terrain tray to connect the bits. And they're fun, interchangeable, right? It's a little road system, so you can build out your little town, your village, or whatever. Currently, we have what are the 2 designs that aren't here? So we've got, oops, we have there's a straight. I think we showed these last week. We'll show them again. There's a straight. There's a alternate straight, which is over here. It's this one. It moves whoop. There's a swell in one direction, a swell in the other direction, a 4-way intersection, a T intersection, a little curve. This guy, a little curve, and a big curve. And the order currently. Someone flagged we had it backwards last week, so it's the curve. The big curve's on the back of the 4-way intersection. The little curve's on the back of the T intersection. The swell is on the back of the straight, and the other swell is on the back of the alt straight, so that you can feed your straights into either your curves or your intersections, because curves and intersections are often doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
This will
so
let you do pretty flexible. Like if you want to just go with these trays, it'll let you fill out like a skirmish board with then just
totally.
scatter that you can magnetize on top of it very quickly, and you can customize the path of the road
You
and
want to do a
everything.
little 2x2 encounter, you can just throw 4 of these down, make a scene, put a couple little, put a couple cottages in, and you have an easy village. Very, very satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm psyched about these. I think they're fun. There's something fun about connecting little roads. I don't know. It tickles the Sim City side of my brain. Do they still make that game? Sim
Which
City?
one?
Sim City?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a pretty neat.
They get like major releases
Is it in
still.
color yet?
Yes, it's in
Oh,
color.
cool.
Yeah.
It's a big upgrade.
Actually, is
Yeah.
the series officially dead? They had a SimCity that was like a real.
It was
They
black and
really
white.
borked it.
Oh.
God, what year was it? They released one that you had to always be online for,
Oof.
and
That sounds terrible.
it was a mess. Which one was it?
So we've got these guys. Then we showed this guy for this is the quaint pond, which is a really nice poppy, pretty looking body of water, and it terminates. The edges are the same. It's got I put the water texture overlay on there. It's got the edges are that same forest bit, so you can build it in line. And then the back side of this. Oh, we got a question here. Atomic Twills is asking for grids. So the problem with the grids, and that actually leads into my next little segment on this, is we have the way these are. So these are the fabric is affixed by hand to these, and it can drift about a 1/4 inch in either direction, which means you can have if one of your trays the grid drifts a 1/4 inch left and the other tray grid it drifts a 1/4 inch right. Now your grid is off by a 1/2 inch. It's a real mess. Like we did one run trying to do gridded, and it didn't. We didn't get good enough results. Like we had, I don't know, half of them weren't so great. So we stopped doing grids because we couldn't control the drift. It's really very frustrating. So these grid overlays are the solution. No, I wish we had the grids. Yeah, we tried it and we haven't found a way to solve it yet. So
With that drift has got the road bits lining up. The
you're
drift.
jumping ahead. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
They figured it out. I was gonna show you the B side first, but we can do the drift next. So the B side of the pond is the mossy cobbles, and this is the first pass. The new pass has a little more greenery and a little more dirt distressing and a little more greenery. But it's pretty exciting. Yeah, I like this guy. And this one looks really neat when you do with the banks on it. It looks like you can make a little park path and stuff. It's a fun boy. All right, so I was gonna say, does anybody see the challenge with these terrain trays? And we already figured it out. So the problem is drift. So these were the previous pass. The latest pass in the art has, and this is a glossy paper, it's hard to see. So I don't know if you can see the difference here. The edges between the grass and the dirt are much softer now. So if you have a situation like this, I don't know if we can see it on camera, right? And we drift before off, let's say the design's off by a quarter inch in either direction, we still get a pretty good, maybe you can see it, right? Too much glare, too weird angle, but it gives us some leeway to have them drift. It's not a hard line, it's a softer line. So because you see it? Right, so we can get away with murder. So they should line up pretty nicely, no matter if they drift in either direction. So I'm very excited by these. Also, it's nice. So these were thanks. These were designed to get pieces. Ooh.
Okay, go ahead and roll the giveaway while you're doing that.
Oh yeah, roll it.
Friar Fink. I think you've won before. Let me.
I think you've won before. Congrats. So these were designed to work with the banks, right? So we did templates of the banks, and then the design, and Lucy did the art based on where the banks were. This one's not as dynamic as like this one, right? So you can take your banks and you can then 3Dify the grass parts if you'd like. And then the new design gives a little softer edge around where the banks poke out too, which is nice. Let's see if I can see that. Well, can you see this? Boop. All right, so we got this. Where is my spot? Boom, boom, boom. Like that. Should have just done a straight. It's much easier. But where are the pieces? Anyway, we'll have the recipe of what lines up. Where the heck did all the banks go? No.
Are they on this build over here?
Yeah, I think that's probably the problem. Limited number of prototypes. But no, you get the idea. So you can build all the bits with the banks if you'd like. And then you can also, you can seal off some of the roads. Like if you wanted, like let's say you had the four-way intersection, you wanted to turn it into like a T intersection, you could. Take that guy, do a little this, do a little this. Need a concave. Ooh. There we are. Boom. Woo! Concave. Off we go, right? So you can do something like that, right? So you can block off your zones if you want. Or you could just pave straight over the thing, right? You could just go straight across. Bad paint. Boom. Just turn into a straight T or a little cul-de-sac. Also, you can do this whole gag with, you can use the dirt from Lowtown. That terrain tray is awesome. You can just free build whatever the heck road you want on there, right? There's no grass. Boom, boom. Yeah, little thing. Lots of fun options. You could put a building. You could just build a building straight up against this and have the doors feed into a thing or something. Full dirt terrain trays. I like that you match the bank contours. Look, one is using banks. Yes. I think is that what I'll just say. Right, so you could do the same gag on here. Just take I don't know what we got there.
People are wanting to see wildlands floors mixed in, just to see how transitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is like a sister scheme. Well, look at this guy. Go the opposite direction. Do a little thing there. Boom. Obviously, you can make your road as wide as you want. I just did hands-on Banks video today and was doing this on camera. Right, so you can free build whatever the heck roads you want using those dirt terrain trays, as freeform as can be. The idea with the new roads ones is like you don't need any. You can just slam them down without any terrain if you want to go quick. So it's fun. The other side of the road left up to the terrain tray since it doesn't matter as much. Totally. Dirt trails, yes. Right, so you can turn this, shrink it down to a trail. If you want, maybe we'll open that up. Here. You in there. Right, make it a little narrow trail, or make it super wide. It could be like a massive highway. Right. Yeah, lots of options. These guys are gonna let you build some nice stuff. You could also make quaint little brooks and streams. All right, so the wildlands floors. Yeah, ease of use. The idea was, yes, you can quickly throw down some of these terrain trays and have a scene without having to have any other terrain, and then scatter up whatever you need beyond that. There you are if you want to go from wildlands down to grass and then out to whatever. The warm edge, I'm really enjoying, and it helps. I don't know. It helps make it more soft and inviting.
It builds a different scene, builds a different vibe than what we had, which is the whole thing is, yeah, if you want something that is cleaner, more manicured.
The murky swamp banks should feel like that. And this is to feed you into your, right, this is supposed to be like the nice, whatever, manicured area, your gardens, your lawns, your little village. Maybe it's a delicate glen in the, deep in the dark wood. There's this sort of delicate glen that a druid is curating, or a dryad's grove or something like that.
Yeah.
How do they look with an LED lamp post? Nice.
Probably. Yeah.
Then
as you can see, the base screen that's on like the flat part of the piece is the same base screen that's in the forest tiles. So if you want to like transition from like a cleaner, just grassy area that then becomes a forest as you go further in.
It's a slightly different green. Aaron gave it a little bit different personality, but it's pretty damn close, and it's
super close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it has more blue undertone or something to make it make the warm warmer.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was some trickery afoot. Where the heck are the lampposts? We've been reorganizing all the Lowtown stuff, which means you can't find anything.
The Castle Rocky one or the Castle Rocky one? The Stone Castle one or the new Lowtown one? He can't hear me. That's fine.
Which one?
That's what I'm asking you.
Oh.
The castle.
Oh, I was looking for the Lowtown one because I thought I knew exactly where it was, and now it's not where it used to be. That bin. Where did it move?
Have we settled on a like locked in place for the Lowtown stuff yet?
No, but it has a working place. But the bin that was there has moved. It's in flux. Huh.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
None of the Lowtown battle boards or terrain trays are going to be in for this restock because this restock that's coming in July was ordered before Lowtown hit the store, and then this whole thing got delayed. We were hoping to be restocking Lowtown around the time of this restock, but just the whole tariff situation has delayed that entire process. So I don't know when a Lowtown restock is happening because currently we don't want, they're focusing on Dungeons Reforged production now. So I don't know when we're actually going to do a Lowtown restock at this point.
What are we out of on Lowtown? Everything.
They're asking about the battle boards and terrain trays.
Oh, yeah.
There's still a good amount of Lowtown stuff, but things like the thatched roof are gone. Battle boards and terrain trays. There's some stuff there that's pretty high value that it would be nice to get back, for sure.
Thatched roof was like a greatest hits.
Yeah.
Resin Woodland set. Have we run it? No, we didn't. We didn't pull anything from the Resin Woodlands. The cool like rustic elven look. So we get lampposts with some greenery here. Look at that. Yeah, we definitely have to restock that thatched roof.
We want to. Yeah, the only it's just we don't know when we'll have them do another restock currently.
These are facts.
Yeah. Worth putting it in Cities Reforged now? Are we out that far? We don't want to add any more to the campaign. Like the whole point is that we're trying to keep the order down to something that won't kill us if the tariffs blow up. Are these the same general shape as the regular forest? I assume so in DF fashion.
Yes. So
they're
the
2-inch
profile
bases
is
instead
the
of
same.
3-inch. Yeah.
Where the heck I had forest here to show it? Here we go.
Yeah, they follow the same general profile.
Same. Let me get it straight so we can see. So same side profile, right? They line up real nice. Boop boop. There's a forest.
Yeah, they're basically
different leading edge colors, slightly different green base.
Yeah, they basically do. It's two different ways of doing the same job. So if you want it to be a really dirty, foreboding looking place, you go with the swamp banks. If you want it to be nice and clean and happy, you go with the grass bank.
What's nice is we now have a 2-inch bank, so you can use in a pinch. You can, if you need a 2-inch bank with your swamps, you can do that. Also, if you just took a dark brown wash, you could sludge that up real quick.
Yeah, if you wanted
if
to.
you needed to jam it in with, yeah. The cell banks that go 1 inch to ledge might make a good transition depending on how DF pane it is. Yeah, you could potentially transition back, although they swell back. But yeah, they're kind of cheery, those little transition bits. Yeah, the Jade kind the intention was to have a new family of banks because we have a deep collection of the forest and swamp banks. We have a really big collection of those, right? There's already so many options, so we were trying to create a new family that would hit a different note, while being the geometry is compatible. So if you wanted to do something, you could. Because there are between the original forest banks plus the entire swamp bank line, there's I don't know, there's gotta be what 14 banks pieces or something,
Yeah.
maybe more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not making as many of the grass banks as we have in
no, it's an
swamp.
eight piece collection plus the floors, right? There's a 4x4 and a 2x2. Yes, we got straight, a short straight. I gotta zoom out a little. Convex, a short convex, concave, short concave, and then a pair of swells. No, right and the left. Banks are the wilderness tiles that I use the most, I think. Yeah, they are. They're. I don't know. They're one of those tools that just comes out of the toolbox a lot, and I don't know why, but they're just great. I guess they used to offer a lot of options for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Someone saying, was there a 2x2 is new? No, there Wildlands on the smallest was a 3x2.
Were the small forest floors just 1x1 and 2x1?
Uh,
Did we not do a 2x2 of those?
we have a 2x2, a 2x1,
And a 1x1. Okay.
yeah, and then the 3x3s and the 3x6 and 6x6.
Yeah. Like up until now, the swamp banks also had a double for this. The swamp or forest banks also had a double for if you had like a green village or town. And so we're just kind of hoping that this will give you another option for having a cleaner looking town in the grass or village in the plains.
A rock over the transitions are really good, right? A mossy rock mound over these. Or you could also very easily just a wash. You could do a transition piece by doing a wash that peters out across a straight. Yes, there's a 2x2 small forest floor. Those are key. Those little forest floor bits are dynamite, and you can interchange those pretty well with the new grass. The new grass was so the goal here was to make something that was more calm, less wild, and super flat. Good to build on. Good to build in, on, and around cities.
Takes a village by yours at Dwarven Forge today. I never found a use for the small forest floors when using wildlands, but with Colt, they get used all the time.
Yeah, honestly so these were the small forest floors, right? There's a two, and they're a little more active than the new green sward. They were generally for super fiddly advanced building, or if you're trying to do a compatibility thing, right? You're trying to put a building in line, like a 4x4 building in line with the 6x6 floors or whatnot.
Yeah, generally speaking, if you're just building a forest or something else out in the wild, like you want big and expansive, so the bigger floors are usually fine.
You generally don't need these unless you're starting to get fiddly. Like if you're working a thing with a multi-level escarpment thing and you're kicking the escarpments back by 1 inch for the rise, and then but not often. Oh, see.
Is there something under the terrain tray that I missed? Just other terrain trays.
Yeah,
there's no texture map.
Russian nesting terrain trays under more terrain trays under more terrain trays.
There's just a lot of trays piled on this table currently.
Yeah, trays upon trays upon trays. Will the 4x4 rusty flat enough, or automated painting was that reduced?
Will the 4x4
will be
Oh,
this one,
is it a
can
flat?
we
Is
can
it
we
sculpted
UV
flat
print
enough for
this? Is
UV?
what they're
Yeah.
yeah. Um. Uh. I don't know if
I would
right
be.
now the plan was to hand paint. The UV printing is currently a bit of a pain. So we kind of want to save it for when we can get some really standout results, right? Like the parquet floor was a great example of something that we couldn't do easily with hand painting, and we could do really well with UV printing. This is easy enough to hand paint that we don't need to. That was part of the design. But we're looking at UV printing for other places where it gives us really cool value add, for sure. It's a
Yeah.
good question.
Also, with having a system like this where there's multiple pieces that are going to be getting used together interchangeably that you want to blend well together, we really want every piece in that family to be painted the same way. Just
Yep.
so it makes it easier to make sure it's all going to match.
And we can't UV print something that falls off like this has a curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. Speaking of trays, when we have more back in stock, I don't know. But
It looks like we
restocks
don't.
are
Looks like we don't have any in this restock.
restocks are a little up in the air. A good question.
We have the swamp texture mat coming in. I'm not seeing any terrain trays in this next restock though.
But
It's probably in the next order. We always want to have terrain trays in stock. They
they
sell
tend
out
to
faster.
sell faster than we ever always think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the battle boards are coming back. That's nice.
Yahoo! Which ones?
Mountain and forest.
Cool.
Yeah.
OGs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what with these terrain trays, what do people want to see? Oh, should I do something with the mossy cobbles? Let's do something.
Yeah.
This guy's a fun, like make a little park scene. So let's see. We can do a little winding path. So the fun thing with this guy, let's do like is these the cobbles were done in kind of it felt, I don't want to say random, but it's in an eclectic way such that you could sort of, no matter how you mask it, it'll look cool, right? So you could do a path, you could do a patio, you could do. So let's do a little, like make it like a garden path thing. What are these guys? Boy, I've already managed to make a big mess on the table. Go figure.
Yeah. Well, you started with trays over the whole thing already.
Yes. It was a thing.
Does the grass with the cult dirt play well, or is it too sharp a contrast? It works pretty well. I think we showed it earlier.
Yeah, it works fantastically. I did it. We did do it earlier.
I think somebody posted photos of it in the Discord.
They already took a screenshot and posted photos.
Yeah, DW's
Amazing.
putting photos in.
Doing the Lord's work.
Doodle-doo-doo.
Put a little there. Let's boom. Right, so we can make like a little.
You don't want a Discord? That's fine. You'll see photos of it in the campaign and stuff, and maybe we'll go back to it tonight. But I mean, that's the dirt terrain tray that's in the back there, right? No, that's
no,
that's the new
the dirt in the streets is going to be the same as the dirt on the
sheets.
Yeah. So we can do like, you can do little garden path type things. You can use it as a, we can do a little road. Over here. This guy. Bump. Whoop. Little cobbly path. Where am I? Where do I want to go? Do we want to go this far? Too wide. Let's do that. Boop. Yeah. Right, make little cool little color paths. So kind of no matter how you cut it,
Garden path.
Yeah, it'll look neat, right? The cobbles will kind of work because they go in so many different directions. So
That'd It'd be kind of fun if you had a city park and then this goes up to like the
Yeah.
mayor's house or something.
It's right. It's the idea is you
Yeah.
can kind of make like a little. It's great for parks or a little village, like a little path up to the cottage and the thing. You can do like we can reverse it, like do it as like a central. Uh, let's see. Let's make a little fountain square thing here.
And of course, you can use the old swamp banks as well to make it more of like an abandoned.
Overgrown
yeah.
Miss Havisham's house, like
Yeah.
100%.
Is there a TTRPG setting for odds? Dude, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we should offer like a yellow variant
And
of this
Oz.
board. Yeah.
Now you do that, and then put
There's,
your little.
there's got to be somebody who's. I'm gonna look this up. I'm sure somebody has done.
An Oz RPG must exist.
They've
right?
done a
Like, there's-
5e hack of everything under the sun. I'm sure that there's a. Hang on. The Wizard of Oz characters in 5e. 5e Adventures in Oz campaign sourcebook on Drive Through RPG. Yeah.
There it is.
There's multiple different people who have had this idea, it seems. The Wizard of Zoe.
Ha. Legally distinct. Isn't it public domain or something at this point anyway? Or no? Do they?
I don't know. Probably the original book, but then you can't
Yeah.
use things that were in like the what am I thinking? The movie version or something. Probably one of those things. Public domain? Yeah. Oh, they kickstarted it even. So yeah. Wow, $187,000
What, Vertex?
for the 5e Oz book.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Vertex just opened a factory sealed Catacombs 1. That's wild.
Who never opened their resin? Probably somebody who picked it up at Gen Con or something. And
Yeah.
one of those guys who just collects a lot of stuff.
They had
What
too much
trays?
stuff
What
to
trays this
open
one?
it up.
Yak. This is the mossy cobble.
Cobbles.
It's gonna be on the back side of the pond tray.
Backside of this guy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be neat. So you could do them together and make like a little garden park. Right? We could do. Oh, let's try that. Let's make a little. Is this gonna work? I don't know. Find out. So much. It's like I feel like an archaeologist digging layer under layer of nonsense here. All right, I just need to clear enough to get okay.
There are also non-D&D. There's a non-D&D Oz system somebody's made.
Really?
Yeah. And then just like a system agnostic setting book, it seems. So yeah, there's a lot of it out there.
I am 0% surprised. Like you said, like people have made like there's a 5e version of everything.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there a 5e hack for Dr. Oz?
Ha! A modern he's just got a lot of deception.
Yeah. Is there a 5e version of House, the TV show? I guarantee.
Oh, that's what I was
guarantee
thinking. Dr. House. Yeah.
Yeah, not Dr. Oz. Very
Uh,
different.
Dr. Yeah.
5e House MD. Let's see. If Dr. House were a D&D character on Reddit, right there.
I love it. Oh, internet.
Gregory House is a D&D character? What stats to roleplay as Dr. House? Wow, so many people have gone to the D&D subreddit asking how to make House.
Wild. Wild. What was the answer?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked at any of it.
Yeah.
A bitter knowledge domain cleric who assumes everyone is lying.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, man. Incredible. Can you show two of the pond terrains next to each other for a large body of water? I think the issue is they both kind of...
It's terminated, so we can try it. I gotta find
Yeah.
the other. It's a good question. That is that's why we're here.
Entire Dr. Oz game is rolling persuasion checks.
Yep. Or deception. Or insight.
Trying to figure out how to. It's really hard to get enough gold together to buy some crudité. Phase Anatomy, a melodramatic medical mystery for other unique systems from Heaven on Games. 6 reviews, 15 ratings. You can find
Phase
anything
Anatomy.
for 5e at this point.
It's amazing.
People have made so many 5e
We
hacks.
can make ourselves a little park. Maybe I'll make this a trail. So we're gonna do this.
What do the banks packs look like? Are they similar to Wildland Swamp packs? They got the same general idea, but there's a different. Since there's less pieces, there's not.
They are.
Yeah.
They're just kind of grouped by pieces. So there's like a straights pack that's it's the long and the short straights. There's a convexes, which is the long and the short convexes. There's a concaves, which is the long and short concaves. There's the swells, which is both the swells, and then there's like a basic builder, which is the short straight, the short concave, the short convex. So it's kind of like gives you all the flexibility you need. So you can kind of, depending on what you want to build, you should be able to poach all the pieces you need.
Barbarian Crocodile. The Florida Man 5e hack.
It just goes forever.
Have you ever done the thing where you look at Florida Man and then your birthday and see what...
What's Florida Man?
So much weird stuff happens in Florida.
Yeah, this is a fact.
That they say that you can find a weird headline that starts with the words
Florida Man does XYZ.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this has got to be true, right? Florida Man ties balloons to chair to go in outer space.
Yeah, when I look up mine, I get Florida Man arrested for attacking McDonald's employee for not giving him a straw.
Yeah, that tracks.
Bloody intoxicated Florida man found passed out on top of Uber driver.
Amazing.
Just 3 hours ago, they posted a story. Florida man pretended to be a flight attendant so he could fly for free.
Good scam. Good scam.
Yeah.
Appreciate the hustle.
So many Jane Austen TTRPGs too. Oh, but that totally makes sense though, because you're already dealing with. I feel like Jane Austen isn't a terrible. It's just a different time period.
That totally, like, it's archetypal characters and
yeah,
like,
you can move a lot of them. I'm curious.
Pride and Prejudice and zombies.
I'm curious if they can do magic. Jane Austen TTRPGs. So they're probably mostly social TTRPGs if they're not specifically 5e hacks. Although I'm sure that there is a 5e scenario.
Oh, maybe this will have the... No, it does.
Florida law requires all arrests are made public, and thus there's a news feed for it that papers worldwide have access to. That's good to know.
Huh.
Florida man accused of stealing gator from golf course threw it around to teach it a lesson. Letitia posted it. I don't know if that means people are posting a lot, so I think they're posting their birthdays. So I think that was Letitia's.
You know, it's nice to learn something new about the internet each day.
Grandpappy's is Florida man popped open beer during police encounter because it was cold and he wanted to drink it.
Yeah.
Wilderness Encounters is Florida man caught on surveillance pooping while attempting to rob a boat.
What? Oh, Florida.
Oh, man.
Florida man.
Yeah.
Well, now I know Florida man. What was I going to do? Oh, I was going to get a second pond. Yeah, so we got a little... right, using these two in conjunction to make a little park scene.
That is really nice.
You get mugged in the park.
That is really nice. And that's the nice thing that the grasslands are really bringing here is you can do parks more easily. Like it would be kind of weird to be using the forest floors with all the rocks and stumps and stuff. You can just have like curated gardens and the like now. Florida man attempting to cross Atlantic in human-sized hamster wheel faces federal charges. I think these grass banks could represent hills for rank and flank games like Warhammer Fantasy, maybe a stacked. Probably. You could also do that thing where you just say like, okay, you set up like an area with the banks and the floors, and then you just say like, all right, so these are, an inch high, but for our purposes, these are 6 inches high, and you just agree to it, you know. Barrier Peaks does have a garden level. There's a lot of really cool, like having, like if you're doing like a, you know, the mayor's house, foiling a kidnapping or breaking into a noble's mansion or something, and having this be an encounter in their courtyard or something. There's a lot you can do. Is that a sign by the lamppost? Yeah, that's one of the newest beans. The signpost has been added to the campaign. I don't think it's the first time we've shot it. We showed it last
We
week.
showed it last week, I think.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's sometimes it becomes a little blur. Go picture this.
What's the pack count for the banks used on this map? Oh man, he's just free building.
I do.
It's
everything. Hang on, where did I put
That's
my phone?
probably like.
Did I
There's
have
a
my
couple
phone on
straights. There's a couple swells.
It's a terrible mix from every pack.
Yeah.
Is
Make some gravestones and have a cute little cemetery. You can get a lot of gravestones out there. I bet Galadoria makes some. Let me see. The Mimic Grave Plot set. I forgot
all
he
right, we
did
got a
mimics
little
for
bit.
everything.
Let's make a. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna connect to.
Galadoria has a tombstones pack for $8. It gives you
Boom.
12 tombstones.
It's a lot of tombstones.
Yeah, it's 2 of 6 different kinds, so you get a good amount. You get a good variety.
Painted?
Is this that's unpainted, but it's real quick to paint up. That's less than
Yeah.
$1 a piece,
Yeah.
and it's a super
2
easy paint
steps.
job.
You're like,
Let's go ahead and
all
like
right,
that.
so we got two ponds here. Got a little. So there's a little bit of greenery in between, but let's see what it looks like. I'm putting a nice wrinkled texture mat over there.
This looks like a painful to restock Kickstarter pack. Yeah.
Which
Well,
one?
if you get the Banks Mega Pack, you'll be able to do what he did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I unfortunately it was like a sampler of every. So there's 2 of each swell in the swells pack, and I used 1 of each. There's like 6 straights, long straights, and I used like 3. There's, you know, it was just kind of like I was using a little bit from everything because I was just free building. Which is kind of how I should describe everything. It's, well, I was just free building again. Florida man.
Did I
You know,
see a
it's-
4x4 field stone under the fountain, and will there be a set of those? No.
That was cobblestone under the fountain. That is should be available currently, I think, I hope.
What are you doing? We are building with our new Banks prototypes from our campaign launching next month.
What are you doing?
Looks like it gets shallow in the middle, but compared to the 3D Banks, it still looks like it is underwater.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, this totally is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
does look. It just looks like the shallows, right? You might not want to ride your rowboat over that. Florida man. Let's do a little.
Finally stocked up on Aranthor and realized I now need to step into banks, swamps, and forests. I didn't initially
Yeah.
think I'd need too many banks, but looking at you work, I need a lot of them. Banks are super flexible. You can use them in a lot of places. What I will say, you could be perfectly happy just focusing on swamp banks or forest banks.
Or these green grass banks.
Or the green grass banks. The green grass banks should be cheaper. They're simpler sculpts and paint jobs. However, you can't get them as quickly because they're not going to be, you're not going to be able to get them till next year, basically.
I would get the swamp banks personally because there's the most variety in there, and they're really cool.
Painted cobblestones is out of stock. Yeah, we got to restock. Whenever we can restock Lowtown, we'll do it.
We would love to. Go lobby the government on our behalf about tariffs.
Write them
Yeah.
and specifically say that they're messing with your games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can mention us by name too. It's totally cool. So that works, right? We have
yeah.
We have kind of looks like a shallow bit here with 2 deeper bits there. Also, here's another. Ooh, we can cheat.
Bold of you to assume this will be cheaper after the tariff. I mean, here's the thing: that tariff's also going to apply to any restock we get on the small forest banks.
It's a one-way trip with tariffs.
How much are those in stock currently? Because here's the thing, like we're delaying this restock container coming in. That's gonna get hit. That's gonna be our first product going into the web store that gets hit. And that's just a big bummer, dude.
Yeah.
How many of the swamp banks are in stock? All of them. Pretty much all the swamp banks are in stock. That's really nice. Okay.
Get them.
Yeah, get them if you want them. But yeah, when we restock swamp banks again, whenever that has to happen, we're gonna have to raise the prices if the tariffs stay the way they are. And we're gonna need to do a store price increase in general. It's
imminent.
It's just how can we'll give you a heads up before it happens. It's not gonna happen overnight without warning. It's just
But it is going to happen in the near future. Like the cost of it's all going up. So unfortunately, so we can do if we pepper in a few bits, particularly like some lily pads or whatever, right? Put some it's in there. It'll kind of helps sell maybe why this is shallower or something.
Mudkip, yeah, the restock coming in is getting the 30%, or at least it's supposed to. We'll see. We'll see what happens when we get there. There's been a lot of stuff not really working the way it's supposed to. So it's supposed to be getting the 30% though.
Letitia said it's a giant's butt print. Now filled with water.
It kind of reminds me of the Spectacle Lake in Zelda.
I'm not familiar with that.
There is it's a Link to the Past thing. There is there's a lake that looks just like this. It's called Spectacle Lake because all that.
That makes sense.
And then in Breath of the Wild, they then did a reference to it, I think by making it like a raised mountain in that shape, and it's Spectacle Rock, I believe.
That makes sense.
Or maybe they put the mountains in the middle of Spectacle Lake. But yeah, Spectacle, or was it Spectacle Rock in Link to the Past? I can't remember.
Spectacle Rock. And yeah, Mudkip, you're right. It's said that the new normal is like, well, at least it's only 30%. Like, yeah, that's brutal.
It was Spectacle Rock. Got it. Okay.
Spectacle Rock. Hey, this was a good idea. We haven't. I hadn't put two together yet. That's really nice.
It's kind of fun because you could say like you can run. You can move through the shallower area just as difficult terrain, but you have to swim for the deeper area or something.
Yep. Or it could be all deep, or that could be quicksand, or I don't know. You could do any or it doesn't matter. Like it's just all water or whatever. Like there's lots of ways you can spin it.
I just heard the tariffs come back up to 55%.
Yeah,
it's not
good.
It's not official yet. It's just a tweet, so we don't know if it's actually going to happen. But yeah.
It's not the right direction, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was 5%, now we'd be talking.
Yeah, it's kind of odd to hear that. Don't worry, we reached a deal, so things are going to be worse. Yeah. It's just kind of an odd.
Yeah. That's generally not the kind of deals we're looking for.
Yeah. So we'll see if that actually happens. Who knows?
What else do we want to see? Quicksand Gen X trauma. What do we want to see? The Rorschach test pond. For what else should we do with these train trays while we have a table full of train trays and fun? Should I do a
Hellscape banks, hot springs with lily pads in them? I guess.
The yeah, we have a lot of banks, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the caverns banks collection.
You could do just like a fishing hole in a cavern.
Yeah.
That's that comes up every now and then.
Yeah.
What else could we do with them that hasn't been done yet?
We could do how about the
what do we got? Yeah, we got 15 minutes.
Here this. I'll do
any new beans? The new terrain tray, I think was the big bean.
We saw
today.
the mossy side.
Yeah, the mossy cobbles.
We saw the revision of the roads.
Ooh. Having fieldstone runes or something poking out of the pond would be kind of fun.
Ooh, like a sunken
yeah.
the flooded city.
Pond up against escarpment, perhaps. Well, we got to be able to do it in 15 minutes. So
I don't want to have to go get a new biome.
check how the pond looks at the Wildlands waterfall.
Oh, that's a fun idea.
The waterfall is pretty hectic for how tranquil that pond is. But you could probably, yeah.
You know, it would be good, the terrible the waterfall from Caverns, the original little one
People
feature.
ask us to bring that back a lot.
It's, you know what, it's a cute little gag. It's hard to work it into a build in a very satisfying way, but it does convey the thing well. We should do a revised version of that gag. Like, we can actually do it well. Look at that quaint little river. Let's go to the waterfall, see how hectic.
Flooded city, new texture map. It's not a bad idea. I could do that in the shoals and just do kind of surfaces that are underwater.
It's a new Jeopardy category.
Surfaces underwater.
Yeah.
Elevation possibilities using the smaller sizes mixed in, like smaller terrain trays. We don't currently have any smaller trays planned for this campaign. Maybe we'll add some, but most of the ideas that we had didn't feel like they benefited from having 6x6s added in, really. Surfaces underwater. It's just all a bunch of SpongeBob locations.
Boom, boom, boom.
For this Kickstarter, the pieces being highlighted, such older stuff to use with, will they be included in purchases for the campaign? No, probably what we're going to do is point towards their web store sets. And then if you're overseas, if you're not in the US, what we've done for some of these campaigns in the past, we've been like, hey, if you reach out to customer support, we can bundle that with you potentially, just so that you're getting it shipped together, combining it from the web store. But we don't want to do a production run of every compatible set along with this stuff. We want to keep the production run manageable.
The not so secret of Dwarven Forge is reach out to customer support if you've got some sort of request, and we will do everything we can to try and take care of you.
If you ask us for most things, we will probably do it.
Yeah. We're a small group of people who like talking to other people.
Yeah.
And we'll, happy to try and do what we can. We can't do everything.
Mm-hmm. Seems like a lot of the forest floors could go with this set. Yeah, they transition pretty easily to make it kind of go from, like a pretty treeless, like clean bank going down, and then you go in deeper, and it's like, okay, now you're actually going out into the woods. That transition works pretty well. And you can do one of the tree stump floors in the middle of a grassy area to have like a little bit of a copse? Something like that.
All right, let's see what happens here. So, yeah, we very much pride ourselves on our relationships with our army, the
You
Dwarven
can
army.
do the mountain ledges around it, or
no,
do
I'm doing
forest around it, grass.
Yeah.
Okay.
See what happens. Maybe I'll go back to here. So I'm using the trifectas to get us in. Right, the grass will go up all nice like. Let's do it. I already put the tree on it. That's fun.
I don't know. I once heard someone tried to buy a whole table of pieces of stuff from you guys at a con once, and y'all refused. Yeah, we got yelled at for 15 minutes. That was great.
Yeah. In fact, he was screaming at. Nate said I could buy everything, and this is give it to me. So apparently I wasn't there, but that was the.
Was that a different thing?
What?
When was that?
That was at Gen Con.
Oh.
That was yeah. He got really mad.
Oh.
How are we off by?
It sucks that we have multiple instances of this happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Adepticon, our first Adepticon, somebody came up and was mad that we didn't sell them the huge prototype castle from during the castle's Kickstarter.
Oh, different, right?
Like 8 years ago, or 8 years before. And I was like, I wasn't there, dude. And also, they were prototypes. And And then he was like, okay, so can I buy what's on this table? I'm like, again, man,
We're not.
these are prototypes. We got to take these back. Like,
Where are you? I just want it now, all of it.
I
Like, how were they? Like, what was the plan? He was gonna back his like truck up to the loading dock and just like,
well,
like what?
he was just like, I have $6,000 cash on me right now. You tell me I can't
Yeah,
give that to you and take this table home? It's like, yes,
yeah.
I don't have the, yeah. I'm sorry, dude. I don't have the power.
Like, and these are like what? Yeah. People are interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Is there a water overlay to make the waterfall to pond transition a little cleaner? If not, there could be, right? You
oh,
probably could do one of the spill out overlays
you know what
from
we have?
Lowtown
Yeah,
there.
we have a nice frothy, uh, we have a nice frothy one.
The old heavy tree tiles and light tree tiles, how did the banks look against that? Pretty good. We had one of them out. We had one of them out earlier. I don't know if it's still on the table. We had one of them out earlier. The base grass color is very close, so they transition pretty cleanly. Nate said I could rob this bank. Anytime I want to do something, I just say Nate said I could. I miss the by the pound Dwarven Forge. Yeah, it was a cool thing that really relied on. It worked because of the way that we did everything back then. Um, it doesn't quite work with the way that we manage our pieces now. Thought you did sell the table in the UK. Not the table, but there were several sets there that were just, here is stuff from the web store. And so they sold, just so we didn't have to bring them back, they sold the store sets for cash at store price. So we didn't have to pay shipping or anything. So they didn't have to bring the sets back.
You know what?
What's up?
It was less than store.
Less than store price? Oh man, that's a deal.
It was a significant discount.
Tell you what though, if you come see us at Gen Con,
We're not gonna sell you anything.
we're not going to sell you anything. Mace told me we were going to do something at Gen Con. I thought it was a for sure we were doing it. Is it not?
I don't know if that's.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yeah.
wait. I'll wait then. Yeah, that helps.
Do a little white water.
That helps a good amount.
Yeah, it's a neat little thing here. A little tranquil. Some.
Little fairy pool. Yeah. Oh, I bet you could drop the what is it called? The Fey pool? The top from the hole knoll. I bet you could drop that in the middle of this lily pad pond and it would be
The
pretty cool looking.
The Fey Wellspring.
Fey Wellspring. There we go.
I have it actually out because I was gonna put it inside the building. I didn't.
Because if there's any doubt, I'd pick that tray up. So the terrain trays we're doing in this are some of the prettiest trays we've done, I think. The cobbles and this are just great standalone patterns. And then the dirt roads, just having that as an option. As a much cheaper, fast way to do just road layouts for countrysides and stuff.
Hey.
It's a really strong terrain tray collection this time.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Put a couple shrub it
You
up.
drop a huge bomb in there and make a fairy pop out. Yeah. Or just your bow and arrow. Get the silver arrow. Now I want to see all the rune pieces.
It's Zelda Knight.
Yeah. So you know that.
Yeah.
You do know Link to the Past, right?
Yeah.
You were around for that. What was the last one you was Ocarina the last one
The
you
only
did?
one I played was The Legend of Zelda.
This is the first NES.
Yeah.
But you were still in the know enough to know Link to the Past happened?
Yeah.
And you heard it from people?
My friend Russ had it. He beat it and was through, but it was yeah, it was too hard. We had a very limited amount of video game time.
Mm.
That's pretty neat.
Now I want to see all the runes pieces scattered in and around the pond. Yeah, you could do that. Fairy bomb sounds like a shot.
Totally.
All right, good night, Vertex.
Yeah.
You're not missing much. We're about to wrap up in a minute or two, anyways.
Yeah, we should get out of here. So what do we back next week? Is Hobby Hang tomorrow night?
I don't know. He's been kind of making those decisions day of,
Yeah.
just based on where he's at with painting prototypes and stuff.
Oh man, you know what? We played last night. Hamster and I played the new season of Warhammer Age of Sigmar,
Mm-hmm.
and holy moly, it's really good. They made so what is super cool, and I feel like it'd be interesting if other games did this. They made the rules modular, right? So there's the terrain module and the magic module and the battle tactics module, whatever. And when they announced it, I'm like, oh, yeah, they're not actually going to do anything. Like game designers are like too egotistical to like, it's perfect. They just popped out a whole bunch of those modules and just popped new ones in. They're like, here, just try throw this in, throw this in, throw this in, and it radically changed the game without and changing any of the core mechanics. It radically changed the game experience in such a good way. I wish like 5e would have done that or whatever. Like I want to use the cinematic combat module for this instead. I want to use the homebrew potion module or whatever. Like you could just sort of toggle in and out modules of the core game and for change the experience for the better. Like it was really kind of mind blowing. Like how much what a different experience was crafted using kind of all the same moving parts by just swapping out some bits. Like it's really good. Ooh, painting your banners on. That is the absolute worst. Painting elf banners is murder.
I need to play Sigmar. We need to. I need to get Hamster to finish his Moonstone warband so we can do Moonstone on
Man,
this.
so many people were talking about Moonstone at UK.
Yeah, well, it's a UK based company, so that makes
sense.
sense. I'm trying to get them to go to Adepticon
That would be neat.
because Moonstone works incredibly well. Hey, if you are curious about picking up war games or skirmish games, Moonstone is a very low model count, easy to get into. It works phenomenally well with our terrain, and it's a very clever little idea. It's very fun. Yeah, I would heavily recommend Moonstone if you like our terrain, and are curious about wargaming and are looking for a good one to kind of dip into. Moonstone's a very good first one.
Their booth had a lot of momentum there. Like people were excited. Like it had.
Yeah.
It was no
really
Trench
cool.
Crusade, but it was doing well.
I think Moonstone and Trench Crusade are extremely different games. I think those are wildly different games.
Wildly different, and it's amazing that
I would love to see somebody.
They exist in the same world.
I would love to see somebody proxy Trench Crusade models into a game of Moonstone though, and just have like their goblins versus a bunch of trench pilgrims or something.
The unreal.
That'd be wild. Yeah.
So we're out. We'll be back. I mean, we'll be out next week. Hopefully, Hobby Hang tomorrow night. We're gearing up to launch in like, what are we? 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that.
Oh man, it is.
It's coming fast.
Close.
A little too fast.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, this is a neat. It's some fun
just
tonight.
Just under 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
Boom. So buckle up. Moonlit Arch was super cool.
Yeah, that was a really cool sculpt.
That was a fun victory lap.
Mm-hmm.
Right, sort of.
I wish we could keep making it.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right.
Well,
I guess that's it.
Cool, new, neat things.
Mm-hmm. It's been.
So, good night, everybody. Thanks
for
hanging out. See you next week.
Goodbye.